It's not that hard to be a just okay web designer, but it is actually incredibly difficult to be a great web designer. When I think about people who are great, people who are masters of their craft, like Michael Jordan when it comes to basketball or Pablo Picasso when it comes to art, one thing's in common with all of these people who have mastered their craft, it's that they've mastered the basics. And so today in this video, I'm going to share with you a bunch of website layouts that if you master these website layouts, you could be a master of web design. We're going to take a look at a bunch of foundational layouts, and we're going to take a look at examples of those, not only just static layouts, but we're going to take a look at some of the best websites out there, not concepts, not dribble shots, but websites that are actually selling and accomplishing their purposes and making those companies tons of money. They're using these layouts. So let's jump right in first and take a look at some of these foundational building blocks, and you'll see these applied throughout everything that we talk about today. We have these two separate elements here, and you need to know these elements. The first one on the left is what you just call your typographic lockup or just a lockup. And on the right hand side, you have your image. You've seen this time and time again. It is in everything, in every website, in all that you do. And if you don't master this, you're going to miss out, because here's a really great example of it being applied. You have a basic 2-column left and right or right and left image and typographic lockup. And then you have some sort of call to action underneath. You can find this in all sorts of areas. You can see it working in hero sections of websites. You can see it working here further on down the page in some of these kind of benefits or value propositions. Here you have another good example, but this basic format is going to be crucial. You have to master it, and you're going to use it over and over. You're going to see it a million times over and over because it just works. Now we're going to take that same idea of that typographic lockup, and we're going to move right in to this kind of 3-column value proposition or 3-column layout. You can do this with all sorts of variation. Here on the top, we have a simple headline with some body copy and a call to action. You can add iconography to this. You can put them with images on top and that lockup underneath, and you can also do it putting them and actually like placing them inside of cards. Notice how this is just the same thing. It's the reusing of the image and the typographic lockup, adding little bits and pieces there. You can see a lot of examples here. We have some icon driven examples here. We have, as we scroll down, a couple of icon on top, same thing we've seen. And a lot of times when you drill down to the mobile version, we're going to stack that 3-column into a 1-column. Again, really popular layout, and for good reason, because it's able to get across a ton of information in bite-sized forms. Let's move into the next piece, which is going to be this really large single column remixture of that typographic lockup and that large image, except now we're going to do it all in a single column, center aligned kind of mode. You can see this is great for large headers, hero sections. And as we scroll down, you can see you can add all sorts of stuff to this. A button, and you can, multiple buttons, headlines, subheadlines. These examples even have little taglines or eyebrows up above. But you can see this is a great example of that being used. It's not only good for those hero sections, but also good for other sections down the page. You'll see a ton of this in all of the live examples that we're going to talk about today. So just keep an eye out for this center aligned large lockup. Here's another example here, large text, typography, not just one image, but multiple images. That's kind of the same thing. So again, these same building blocks, and we're just reusing them and repurposing them with adding a little bit of variation. Let's move into the next piece, which is a super recycled version of something you've already seen. There's that typographic lockup on the left, but now we have something that's kind of off canvas on the right, an image, multiple images. You can see an example here. We have our lockup. We have multiple images kind of working off the page. Another example, it could be single image or multiple images working off page. Again, that is your off canvas layout. And this is one of those moments where if you're really used to using grids and structure, you might want to break that structure to add a little bit of variation. I'm going to fly through now and show you a bunch of examples of, again, that same repurposing. You have some sort of image here on the left, and now we have content on the right, but we're going to put that in some sort of list view. And these lists can be, boxes. They're interactable. You can click on them, and it's going to rotate or, shuffle the content around that's inside. You can do these, like using multiple columns within that area. So now we don't have images. We have a type lockup and a bunch of little mini type lockups. See how we're just repurposing the same layouts over and over, mix and matching them, and it's creating a lot of cool variation for us. Next up, we have that same lockup. Again, we're just going to do image and those columns. Again, really popular lockup or layout here, and you're just trying to get lots of information out and about. We have another example of this where we throw the whole kitchen sink at it, image, type lockup, and miniature type lockups in a 2-column. Again, we have something like that happening over here on the Gusto website. And then we have just more combinations of these, right? Where we're actually slapping together those left and right. This is a really common pattern you'll see. We just kind of place those down the page in a waterfall kind of format. You could do that in all the different variations, and here you see some examples of that as well. And lastly, we have something that is a little bit different, but really popular. We have the Bento grid, and these are really popular. But basically what they are is we're just placing all those same things we've already talked about, your left and right, your top and bottom lockups, image and text. You're just placing them inside of cards and creating some sort of grid structure. You can see apple.com here is doing it, but what do we have? Type on the left, image on the right. It's inside of a card, and now we just do type on top, image on bottom. These are all the same structures that we've already talked about. They're just being reused in creative and interesting ways. I want to take a moment and just talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Mobin. They are an ultimate go-to resource for UI, UX, and web designers like you and me. And Mobin offers a wealth of curated, fresh, amazing inspiration, and you can go to the site and filter between things like iOS, Android, and web, and get all of these different inspirations and click on any individual one of them, get the examples of not only that layout, but multiple other layouts that this website is using. And I can explore navigation patterns, color schemes, typography choices, and find the latest and greatest design trends all right there on Mobin. And it's a powerful search engine that allows me to go in and find individual or specific elements. Like, do I want to find app categories, marketing pages, specific businesses, websites, or applications? You can find all of that on Mobin, and the seamless experience makes it pretty much a joy to use. And so you want to go and experience the creative possibilities firsthand and unlock design excellence with Mobin right now. The link is down in the description. Definitely give it a try. Now let's jump over to the web and see some of the best examples, people who are demonstrating all of these basic lockups in real life, in real time. We have Hotjar, which is kind of like an analytics tool, but what are we seeing here? I'm seeing a left-aligned typographic lockup with call to actions, some sort of imagery down below. As I scroll down, now I'm seeing a left-anchored image and a right-aligned list in this 2-column, and this one is actually interactive. So as I click on things, it's cycling through. But again, left and right. We have top and bottom, except we've added a cool interaction and placed them in cards. Same thing, we have kind of a left and right aligned, but we're just kind of collaging things together. Let's jump over to cal.com, where again, we're gonna see something really similar. We have left aligned content or text lockup and right aligned imagery. As I scroll down, I'm gonna get a really similar thing. Notice how those basic elements, those basic layouts really come to life. We just add a little bit of style, add a little bit of color, add a little bit of variation. We're seeing that same kind of like list here. This is kind of scroll hijacking and taking over my scroll ability, but I'm seeing a list over here with rotating content. We've just placed it in a card and added a little bit of interactivity. Here is a similar thing that's happening. We have a Bento grid. We have image on top, type lockup underneath. Here's another one. This is Zapier. We're doing that big center aligned, single column layout, large headline, type lockup up here, large image or video down below. Again, here's that same pattern we're seeing over and over, left and right, or top and bottom. We're seeing cards and Bento grids. We're seeing 3 columns. All this stuff is being repeated over and over. Again, instead of doing one large image, we're going to do something that has a little bit more open space here on Restream. Large type lockup above, large image. It just happens to be floating in place. But again, we have those really basic left and rights. And what makes this a little bit different is we have these really kind of fun organic lines, organic shapes. We have some iconography up here. We have a little bit of color peaking. So it's adding this cool variation, but at the end of the day, it's that same boring old lockup or layout that we've seen a million times. How about over here at pitch.com? Again, center aligned, single column, large type lockup up here, and image down below. As we get down, we have another one of those, but look, we've added a little bit of interactivity. Instead of a large block image or video, we're adding kind of a scrolling collage of multiple images, but it's the same thing over and over. I hope you guys are getting what I'm talking about. Look, we jump down here, a left and right, a right and left. There's that waterfall layout. On and on it goes. Let's jump over to Contra and see what they got going. A left and right. As we scroll down, we got kind of 3 columns. We've removed any sort of iconography. We've placed them inside of cards. But here's a left and right with a little bit of interactivity inside of it. Here's a large type lockup. Instead of doing center align, we're doing more of a left align thing here, but we have a big image underneath. Adding interactivity, adding animation, adding some color variation. It just changes these basic layouts that you've seen over and over, makes them feel fresh and new again. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to polish up the wheel and maybe customize the wheel a little bit. Let's jump down to another example over here on Flowdesk. Again, left and right, top and bottom, left and right, waterfall layout, same things. And again, we have one last example over here at detail. We have left and right, and waterfall layout again. Center aligned instead of an image, we've put a big form field. You can see the same layouts repeated over and over, just stylized and customized. These people have mastered web design. Well, that's it. That's what you need to know to go from a just okay web designer to a master of web design. You have to master the basics, start implementing, customizing, and adding that creative variation. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and no code and web design, so make sure you ring the bell so you know when another video like this one comes out. Also, check the description for a bunch of helpful links about web design. Also, a link to Mobin if you're interested in getting inspiration there. It's a huge asset for every single designer, so I highly encourage it. And I hope you're having an amazing week designing amazing things, making amazing things, and mastering your craft. We'll see you in the next one.